I have color chips. That's what we're going to check first. I'm going to check, like I said, where the fender is, where I'm going to butt that hood to, the A-pillar. And obviously, you know, you cannot get a perfect color. There's no such thing as a perfect color.
And with this job, right, we talked, you're not blending the hood.
Not blending the hood, so I'm going to get as close as possible. But with, you know, that's where you come in, like your gaps and stuff like that. They help you out with your color.
Yeah. I like to put chips like right up against the edge. Is that something you do? Like I like to kind of just go right up to that line and look.
See, that doesn't already look that bad from here.
Right.
But we'll have to also check it with a light. So I'll check the hood on that side, but it's not bad. It's a little orange in the face, but we're also inside, and I've used that color actually a million times, and once it goes outside, it looks phenomenal. But I have another one as well, so we'll see. Maybe this one's a little more, you know, but also too, red, when it hits the sun, it's one of the worst. It's almost one of the worst colors to have on a car. It's one of my favorite colors, but the sun destroys red. They still look red, but you know, when you put a fresh red up against, you know, a red that's, I don't know how old this 10 years old is, not going to be the same. So you have to take age into consideration too. So we have a bumper, and I'm not a huge fan of that. It looks a little more pink, and that looks a little more orange. See, so I like that one.
I like this one better than that one.
Yeah, and then like I said, the face is a little orange, but once this goes outside, it's going to be fine. Like I said, you're not going to get a perfect match. You're going to get a close match. Like the side cast to this.
Yeah, so I'll walk this way. See, so from here, it looks good. I like to like walk around and kind of look. Like I usually have someone else help when I'm looking at color.
Yeah, ideally that's always, I'll have somebody hold my card, but usually, you know, when you've done these a million times, you kind of already have a general idea too. But people that are, you know, they're starting to be painters or starting to be preppers, that's a very useful tool to them. Hey, have somebody hold that spray out
or
card
tape
for
it.
you. Tape it, you know.
Or there's magnets too. Like I've seen some magnets that you can kind of.
There are some manufacturers that make magnet cards, you know, that you can spray out on. Some people have paper cards. It just depends.
Yeah.
But like when you make a spray out, you want to make sure that you have the right sealer shade on your spray out when you put that red over. That way,
for sure,
you know, your undertone can change this. If I change the sealer color, it could darken it, lighten it.
Oh yeah, if you have a dark like black sealer or you have a white sealer, it's just going to change the saturation of that color.
You know, this comes with time and stuff too. But a lot of people, they'll be like, "Oh, I need to tint that color." Sometimes it's as easy as changing your sealer color, and you're done. Right. It can be that simple. But that comes with time. But like new painters, new preppers, it's a great tool. Hey, have somebody hold that spray out for you so you can walk it, make sure this angle looks good to this angle. You know, some of these cars have super crazy flops on them.
Yeah.
You know, they'll flop one way, they'll flop the other way.
And I think what's important too is like you're doing the bumper on this car, right?
Yeah.
We just looked at this fender. We got to look at the other side too, because that bumper is going to go across both sides.
So, but this side, I'm gonna paint the fender.
Right.
So I'm gonna match
so in this case,
my own bumper.
Right. But how does it look to the door?
So that's what we're going to check. See, so I'm going to use this as a reference to the hood, and the side cast is money on it. It's, you know, like I said, the face is a little orange, but once that goes outside, you know, you're not going to see that. Plus, this light also, the closer you get, it blushes that card, you know, because you're putting a super shine on it. But if you hold it back, like the sun's going to sit, you know, it doesn't look that bad.
Right. I agree.
So, you know, I'm good with this color to the hood. You know, this. To the pillar, side cast is perfect. I don't got to worry about it. This door may or may have not been painted. So that may work over there, but it may destroy your blend into this door depending on what somebody else has done. But, I mean, based on looking at the door, since it's been washed and stuff, I mean, it's got a little dusty from sitting inside, but I don't see anything that kind of tells me it's been painted, you know. Where these moldings go, nobody's taped them off. You know, there's no tape lines around the handles. I don't see any dirt in it. And that's kind of what you want to do. You want to inspect your panels you're going to go into to see, hey, has that been painted? Has somebody else destroyed that panel for me? And what am I going to have to do to make that right?
Right.
So I'm going to blend into that door.
That looks good from here.
That's great. You know, I can blend that all day, no problem. It's, you know, and that's, if you don't have color chips, like your own color library, then you're going to use your chips. You know, make the best decision with your chips.
Or your camera or whatever tools you've got.
Tool you have, you know.
Yeah.
And say you don't want to use a manufacturer color, like I said, you can open search it, and it may give you a better result. You may get,
and different manufacturers have different names. It's like Wildcard, Open Search, what other name? There's tons of different names, but like whatever that feature is, use it.
I mean, I've ran into colors that I've had a really hard time with. There's there's a new Chevy color that's super difficult. And I actually kind of created my own color with that. I used one main, it's a tri-stage, so I used a main layer for that.
Yeah.
For that actual paint coat, it's a special for that. But the top coat for that, the second layer, did not work out for that. So I actually used a second layer from a totally different paint coat, meshed them together, and I have a great match.
Right.
You got to be more mindful of what you're looking at. Sometimes you got to step out of the box.
Yeah.
The box is not always perfect.
For sure.
So I'm good with these colors. So this color chip, you know, I used this one the other day on a brand new Tacoma. It was great. This was not a great color for this. This is actually a special for a Camry or a Corolla. So this is perfect.